rolling around. She was like moaning and rolling around in her own puke. On the walls, puke. Everything, every single thing was covered in her own vomit. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the D Squad if you are new. My name is D and I currently have very little voice. And that is because one, I'm sick. I'm actually was supposed to be in my bed today, but I bought these really expensive tickets for a festival and I decided to go and I screamed my lungs out. So it's a combination of the two. So I did a poll a few weeks ago asking you guys what type of videos you would like to see more of, and 55% of you guys said story time, which is not ideal when my voice is dying, but bear with me guys because I have a very interesting story and I am going to take you back to Korea 2013. I was 19, I think I was 19 or 20 years old, and this story is about my roommate from hell. Now, give you a little bit of a backstory, right? I told you guys about my friend Lynn in my first kiss story. So Lynn, again, is in this story as usual, and one of these days, I don't know when, I will have her feature on my channel because I've had people ask me who this Lynn is. So Lynn and I had clicked really well, and the situation was as such that my roommate, which was a Danish girl, was really good friends with Lynn's roommate, which was, I don't know where she's from, I think somewhere Eastern European-ish. Both our roommates were like the oldest people in our group of exchange students. They're around their late 20s. I think my roommate was 28 at the time. Now, Lynn's roommate didn't really like Lynn. And my roommate and I, we were okay, but we weren't close. So it was to the point that we actually asked the university, Lynn and I, if we could swap roommates, because that would have made everything so much easier. But they decided that it was a no. We couldn't swap roommates. We had to stay in our respective rooms. And the reason was Lynn was living in a different dorm around 5 to 10 minutes walk from the university, and I was living in the university dorm itself on campus. So my roommate and I literally only said hello and goodbye. We didn't have any other conversations. She would be in a room with me and we would be quiet. I would be on my laptop doing my own stuff, and she would be calling with her parents in Danish in a really loud voice, which was very unnecessary, but okay. Now, this girl, I have a picture of her, but I'm not going to show it because I do not want her face on my channel. I think it's like an invasion of privacy. She was a big girl, and the reason I'm mentioning it is because this will become very important in the rest of this story. It was probably like a few weeks before the end of our exchange period. So it was just a weekday like any other. There was nothing really weird about it. I'd gone out with Lynn and my friends to Hongdae to have some drinks and eat something, and my roommate and her and Lynn's roommate also had gone out with their friends to go drink and eat stuff. There was only two options at my dorm. Either we would come back at 1:30, which was curfew time, or you would stay out until 6 in the morning and come back then. So we had debated on what to do this evening because though we were having fun, we went out in Hongdae, we were eating, drinking, but I don't remember why, but for some reason we decided just to go back to the dorm around curfew time. So I got there literally a few minutes before they would close the doors. Now my dorm was built in a way that you had to take like 2 different elevators to get to my floor, and you had to pass the doorman. And the doorman was Mr. Cha. He was like the night doorman, and he was the nicest guy ever. Mr. Cha was like everybody's best friend, and he would try to speak English with everybody just to like show you that he could in like his broken Konglish way. So I would always greet Mr. Cha, and this night was no different. I walked past him, was like, 안녕하세요, 좋은 아침, blah, blah, blah. And usually he would just say, nah, and let me pass. This night was different. And remember, I was buzzed. I was ready to go back to my room. I've had enough. And he stops me like, why is this guy stopping me, you know? I'm not that close to him that he would stop me to have like a private chat or whatever. So then he stops me and he's like, yes, your roommate, very drunk. And I was like, okay. uh, thank you, kamsamnida. And I didn't really understand why Mr. Chow would stop me to tell me that my roommate was drunk. She had gone out to drink, I knew that, with Lynn's roommate, and I know that she usually does that more often. And she's never really that drunk that it's like a thing. But I was also kind of buzzed, so I wasn't really processing the information like that. I just thought like, okay, random fact, thank you for telling me something that I didn't really need to know. But okay, good night. So I take my 2 elevators up and I reach my room. As I open the door, the most horrific stench of puke I have ever smelled just hit my nose. And I hate puking with the fiercest hate ever. And I'm stressing this because I hate seeing puke. I hate everything about it. I hate my own puke. I hate anybody else's puke. I hate puke. And our room was really small. You come in, you have a bathroom on like the right side, and then there's like the closets on the left side, and then you have just like a square with 2 single beds, 2 desks, and this really tiny, like, oh, okay, tiny, this really tiny space in the middle. That was basically our room. I see something wet on the floor, and I'm like, why is there like water or whatever on the floor? It still hadn't clicked in my head that that was puke. So as I walk in further, I see like chunks of stuff. Just thinking about it makes you just want to. So chunks of food and stuff in it, and I realize that it's puke. And then I look to my right, and on her bed is my roommate covered in puke. It was the most nasty thing I have seen in my life. Even thinking about it, I'm getting so angry about this because in that moment I felt the worst rage of my life. I was like, why the hell did they put this girl in this room and leave her like this? And why the hell is Mr. Cha just telling me like, oh, by the way, your roommate is drunk. Goodbye, have fun. Hi guys, so this is Editing D here, looking all types of ratchet because I was on my bed editing, and I realized that I did not actually explain to you guys how they even got her up to the room, because I went down the next day to complain at the management office because they left her there in a very dangerous state because she was on her back puking while lying down. It was a horrible, it was a nasty scene. I'm sorry if you're eating. So I went down to like complain because like she could have choked on her own puke, literally. That was like the one thing I was thinking about. And they told me that even to get her up into the room, they had to like take one of the swivelly chairs from the management office, put her in there, and like wheel her up into the elevators to get her to the room, and like I guess like dump her there, which is a really bad word, but they literally, that's how it looked, like they just dumped her there and left. Yeah, that is how they got her there, and that is how she even got up to the bed, because the state she was in, she was halfway to a coma. Like, she was not in a good state at all. And the thing with Korean culture is that people drink so much there. Like, this is a normal scene. There's even this website called Blackout Korea, where you could see pictures of people passed out on the streets in their work clothes because they drank so much. But anyway, this was just like kind of an update for the people who are, I know, are going to ask, how did she even get up there if she was that drunk? That is how she got up there. So let's continue with the story. I was so pissed off. I was pissed off at my roommate for getting so drunk, and I tried like waking her and telling her that she needs to take a shower, and she was just like out cold. She was just moaning and moaning and moaning. At a certain point, I had to like take her clothes off, so I started stripping her to put her clothes in the shower. Then I decided like, I cannot do this. This girl is big. At that point, I was thinner than this. But I was like small. I was quite small compared to her. And I had to like start stripping the clothes off of her, trying to get her to move so we can change the sheets and change the bedding. I had to clean up the puddle of vomit in the middle of the room. I had to wipe down all the walls that were covered in vomit. And at a certain point I was like, I cannot do this. I was thinking of options. Can I leave? Can I go to Lynn's dorm? But then the doors are closed because it's already past curfew. Nobody's going to help me. I went back down to talk to Mr. Cha, and he's like, yeah, he can't help. So I was literally stuck. So at a certain point I was like, I'm done. F it. I went to my bathroom, took a bucket thingy of cold water, and I just dumped it on her. I think it was probably like an hour after I got in by that time. She was able to get herself up, take a shower. It was just horrible. I couldn't get the scent out of that room. So luckily the next day I had class really early. So I left to go to class, and I didn't see her again until later that night. So it was the awkwardest situation ever. And I came in and we didn't say a word to each other. I didn't even greet her because I was that pissed. And then she's like, yeah, Dee, can we talk? And I'm like, do you remember what happened last night? And she's like, no, but the only thing I remember were your eyes looking at me like I was worse than an animal. And I was like, you were rolling around in your own puke. I should not spend my entire night cleaning up after you. You're a grown-ass woman. So then she cried, and I was actually quite mean, to be honest, at that point. And from that day on, we did not speak to each other for the rest of the exchange. Like, we didn't even exchange good day, good morning, good night, good evening, nothing. Not a single word we exchanged. I thought about it, but at that point it was like 3 weeks later. I didn't know how to approach the subject anymore. It just had gone that far. So she left. We didn't speak to each other. To this day I haven't spoken to her. And when I was moving out of the dorm, because she left earlier, I found a note that apparently had fallen under my desk of her apologizing for it. Now, I don't know when she wrote this note, if she had written it right after, but literally that was like the last interaction that we had with each other. I couldn't remember her name. Also, I just have a picture of myself with her, but I forgot everything about her. So I will be going to Korea in September. I'll be there from September 7th to the 28th. So if you are in Korea at the same time, let me know. I will be staying at home day, so I'm up for a party, I'm up for clubbing, I'm up for all of that, up for traveling to Jeju because I will be going to Jeju. And yeah, that was it. So let me know if you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends and family. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you want more videos about, of, and all of that. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching till the end.